guys have heard of the dad bod? I gained 20 pounds of sympathy weight with each kid. You can do the math in a minute. I have 5 kids. And I've given them a nickname for everything I've had to pay for. So we've got divorce lawyer, semester abroad, professional student, to be determined, and rehab. And Lex couldn't wait to get married. She dropped out of college to do it. 2 kids didn't fix the problems in that marriage. So I paid for the divorce. She moved home, and the ex dropped off their dog in the front yard. One more mouth to feed. Bob came to me one day and said, hey, I would like to go to Europe to study for a semester. And I thought to myself, he never cracked a book in high school. How is Europe going to help him study? But I sent him. He came home with a cheap t-shirt and an English accent. Money well spent. Professional student. I call her M. 7 years in college. She might graduate next year. She's studied everything from anthropology to zoology. I am so confused by what she's going to do in life. I'm sure it'll be worthwhile. You know, to be determined, we call her Jade, and she is something else. I've paid for basketball, volleyball, theater, prom. I've paid for all that stuff, and I don't know how much more it's going to cost me, but I'm pretty sure there's a car going to come, and a college education, and probably a wedding. I'll be broke by the time she's done. We come to my favorite rehab. CJ. Junior. He dropped out of rehab twice. He said, I got this, Dad. I'm no quitter. He moved home. One more mouth to feed. Wow. It's all right, though. I love my kids. I really do. But how much does one man have to pay for it? A lot, I guess. You know, when I was in Bible college, I came up with this thought. I don't do funerals. Funerals aren't much fun, right? I know they say you put the fun in funeral, but you don't. But after a couple of marriages I officiated failed, I decided or figured out that when you bury them, they stay there. I've got a 100% track record. No one's ever come back. And they don't complain either. You know, I went for a hike with my wife last year, and we're halfway into this hike, and I started breathing really heavy. I started sweating profusely. I started getting nauseous. And she looked at me and she said, are you having a heart attack? No. I can't carry you out of here. No kidding. I didn't think you could. I go to the doctor because she was pretty concerned. I went to the doctor. The doctor checked me out, did the stress test, all that stuff. Everything was great. So the next time we went hiking, she tells me, bring the shovel. It'll be easier than dragging. Bob went with us. And he said, well, Father, I can help. You know, I found a couple of lumps in my chest. How many people know men can get breast cancer? I was pretty concerned, so I went to the doctor. He said, let's schedule a mammogram. I said, is there a better name than that for a man? I gotta go tell my boss I need to take off for a mammogram? And he said, oh, no, that's it. I go, and the technician asked me, she said, are you nervous? And I said, no, I'm embarrassed. She said, why? I said, I don't think I have enough here to work with. And she said, oh, honey, we're bringing in the big machine. Hey, you guys have been great. I'm trying to